NDC boys no. When you do man yet. When you do man yet. So what party and winner? Alex now go to police or you. Soldier now boy. What so
a whole minority leader publicly and also some fun to tape so
we can bounce back and we are very optimistic. So it is true that some mistakes in the past, but don't give up hope on us. We will do the do for you. We will not just be talking.
You haven't seen the minority in some way offensive.
You don't care about.
And some of them, when I listen to their argument, I wonder how they got into parliament. Hey, the people of this country always remember that the constitution says we must vote for people of sound mind. You are also the problem. You, the voters, you are part of our problem.
But genuinely, cocoa farmers, based on the people they are interacting with, say they have key concerns because of the reduction.
I saw those that were there. None of them are cocoa farmers.
No,
they are going to rent someone's cocoa farm and doing this business with it. You see, but coming back to the issues, if all the monies we expended on creating a hole, the world's largest hole, $97 million have been given.
So I will show you the person.
That is not. That is
but
not.
You can't sell what is already. You can't sell what is already.
That is not. We will move from here to the factory, but then the shop has.
And I'm saying, omo the panel, and the what's some call.
NDC boys are jobless, yet their party is in power. During our time, we employed our boys. During our time, we employed our boys. Let the NDC do same for us to see. We will be in the opposition and get our MPP boys into the security service. Guess who? One of our workers are same way. Alexander Afenyo Markin. Afenyo.
Go to prison. Listen, NDC boys no. When you do man yet. When you do man yet. So what party and winner? Alex now go to police or you. Soldier now boy. What so you when you want boys to go police, na yanse. When you want go immigration, na yanse. When you want go soldier, na yanse. When you want go fire service, na pede ya di yenu hu. Gogodu. Na obeye won there. Ya opposition. Na si yan kofo. What's it? Yeah. What's it? I record it to her. About the MPP youth, what could I wash a uniform? Our competition. Many hands of food. Power.
The minority leader in parliament. Or say, hey, NDC for no, you to know, check a benyama. Or multi-tifia qua. I call mano, did they undersoon. No no MPP time. Check a fire service MPP for boo. National security MPP for boom. Ghana police service MPP for jinam. About Ghana immigration service omutamu chuku. In fact, even currently, omefani means a way still MPP boys egusu nye adwuma na NDC boys nti na fie. I'm say Eti Afenyo Markin as minority leader, a lawyer, a member of parliament that is supposed to answer the name honorable. But am I surprised? So okay, say same way. Now, a plan or come NDC for now. I shall say recruit you. Omungo for security service mu ana. No money scandal bi aka hwasem. And that's all can wait at the reality on the grounds. Maminfa unko wachi 3 steps. Why? Okay, the vetting time. Abrana Afenyo Markis catch the late defense minister, Dr. Omanebu Amaseke. Even though me busa tough questions, you know, me slot on the money ready. Edru recruitment time, amenje made. Menu me anu yete Ghana ha. Yenim say MPP wa power MPP guys and ye form into national security, into Ghana police service, into immigration service, fire service, custom division, no problem. The same way me anu aware, send the NDC the same thing. Ghana politicians, modern Ghana who are now modern party on. The worst part is hearing Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Omu na su kuta titles akese. O se oba ni 2028 oba president o create a database ebe keep MPP for now omo to aba no. Na adwuma ba omo ne de be mo omo. Afe won say wani so you see one time. What I say menya this is Ghana for you and me. Ghana na menu mienu tim de ntia ye pa brochira ko ye bobo esika no kodu 100,000 na ye drink Canada ye drink America. What de ntia? What de ntia menu mienu Ghana nya akondo. Because the politicians are making sure say everywhere, every part, every sector ni na your money. They decide whatever goes on in every sector. And the Ghana police service for no money akwanso. No moji bribe. Na obaye aden na Ghana for your corruption. That person earned in the spot through corruption. You see protocol no be 15,000, 10,000, 8,000, 7,000, 5,000. And send when you adwuma ko serve on my Ghana. And guess who? A whole minority leader publicly and osi and some fun to tape so now wait a carry two message Baku is it right say the political figures will decide every sector the ABC again my question is are there na NDC for not the same thing this year because they used to do the same thing. Ade na fu we die omantimanye. Is it because John Dramani Mahama Shebo said the reset Ghana agenda no part of the resetting Ghana security service the opes oyenye as I say entry to security recruitment fair and balanced, and as I say every region biano obi any opportunity let me apply na ye fan fairly. The same Afenyo Markis or catch them in na real. Say we catch any constituency for say they shouldn't go for the medicals when it comes to the security recruitment because a scam. A only employ to get NDC members into the police, the fire service, the immigration service. That same person today, in just some few days, as son I know say, omu party members MPP for any opportunity to Ghana police, immigration, fire service, any custom. Name of NDC for it to feel which is which. They be American. If unya nipa na no mienu in 1 week, you don't have to waste your time. So obetie no. And this is why currently I strongly oppose. Say Ghana ni bia be waste the time. Any side that honorable no. And there are two certain people in parliament. Where you know upper power. It's the organizers actually MPP for no. I'm on my feeling say yes, MPP people are still getting work. And see how they were jubilating after hearing that. And the Ghana no. So one go join MPP and I NDC forget it. So who you be who floating voter mean say ya ton sum no. Adwuma bia ni wo Ghana ye benya bia according to Afenyo Markins. And or encourage NDC for say omunye the same. So when he was so much against the process, the software interior minister, Muntaka Mohammed, Eddie Abano. Now at the same time, that same person is saying, say, look, you go back and inquire the old system now. Said that be me slot on me, say come me there. Now my family constituency form my back. I now understand why some NDC guys are even angry about this matter. Because almost slot near the moment, and ye, but name. Ye person Ghana ni Ejuma. And I said Ghana no, a favor wa, a Ejuma. Some favor of the Ghana ni Ejuma. Because there are some NDC guys crying right now. Are there MP before ye be? Now, any the MP before ye any 9 Kabo Mujinaso, at 2 about 38%. And to party the same thing. Said about by 2028, and no grand miraculous movie near. By 2022, your parking source in change because more the same thing. MP before so ye. So, Oman Yan is what move 20 years because I on by no man boy me and Yejuma. Even those who do not qualify. Now we are any information said. Previously, the defense minister, the late Dr. Mani Buama, as it yenya amount for no more police service, any other security service, mentally they were ill. I didn't yet this I don't go on time. And we have psychiatric hospital, and your police service, and your immigration service, psychiatric no munya. Yenya almost a drug addict, I almost fighting against that. And now we are minimum police in here. No boat tampi, Jara Stafari is in no, and the Hali Salasia, no high court. After we they are said, Zimutis are quite way, or free aire, Nanisuni nine crack. Or no, the public. One no, we know a corner Musama, they say no one, the public can't want to know. Now, man for Heno, not a uniform, no rolly. These are the kind of people you saw go security service in the move. National security guy, I was West Wagon. Election course. Some John Diasutoro said tell for a national security person. Young go check here a Ukraine JHS certificate. JHS. Omunibi. But Oma Fanyo Muwe, our national security service. The government of the day, adding minumi and your tax. I'm not surprised, Musa Dankwa, Global Info Analytics, SEO Bekachere say, delegates to Obama MPP. Emma and Dr. Alaji Mahmoud Bomiya flag bearer, Edema MPP in 2028. Don't do an Jesus certificate go Munibi. The Omodi Akos for a character senior high. Don't do a JHS downwards. Either so, need certificate in Mikra at all. MPPO, the party of intellectuals. That's our Afenyo Markin Simo. And the ladies are fair, yeah. Diabolic statements in one hand, recruitment a scam, and the money constitutes phone call. On the other hand, oh, they be young crowd for the Omunyo opportunity, and this is for guys in the TV. And the which is which Afenyo markets. Afenyo markets, which is which. And also, oh, yeah, my end is for no, yeah, or video matter say yanka. Omi akron for ampa, omi scam. Eti wenu ye the book ye the build your my money ye. Na Afenyo markets anu endi we ye. Ana abranche ye freno appear stadium. Obi enim the serious hype man in DC. And they don't demand baby for be anu jidambi. I told Honorable Muntaka he deserves to be sacked by President John Mahama. Na adenti na ese asake na se boke na etietia Muntaka ba ye NDC foi anka momungure police ni fire service immigration wura no mura ko ba NC senti Muntaka ye incompetent because all more process na fair.
I'm for very say me access to the president me catch we use with you free o catch them o ma catch Honorable Muntaka na swear the oh my o catch say I was na say so man friend when you say Muntaka I just say so a minister I say so a minister pay but no minister na friend hey God Jesus Christ nti de o mo je chinya o de no je chinya me say me say o ma president you na o why no ka dey o mi bibia kan o se we meet here say appear, I'll call you later by the city from frame. The number of class was I am say a frown. The number for the federal file, from the Honorable Taka, Unye Jenny. As a president, you. Whatever we are come from, we are covered all the TV. Until now, Mugabe, Yaosa.
Say, Utie, Sanse, Munibisea. Then you realize what I've been saying on this platform. Say, Ghanaians naturally does not hate corruption. We don't hate corruption at all. The only time we hate corruption is when we are not part of the chop. Say, Yabi near the high. Now, say, Yabi dear, the grace of God. Yamin high enterprise. No more, Yabi near. Ghana and penny for your crown for politicians, your crown for, and now we are crown for. As we now crown for us from Guan. Ghana and Libya try say the system will tilt towards or no, never favor no. And the any if we say MP before, a recruit to among growth on the Kogumuno, I prefer the same thing. Young, yes, I'm mono. Yes, I can interior minister. Does it make sense? Yes, I am. Now, minority leader Afenyo Markin, after say offer the recruitment process has come. No one say no MP before club members that should grow them or money opportunity. Ghana Police Service and Immigration Service no. Or we are no share GUTA. Ghana Union of Traders Association. I know catch almost say, hey, MPP still yebebo. Your time, yeah, boni kakra. Mistakes 1 or 2. I'm saying same would be. Mistakes when 1 or 2. Mistakes now would take it pensioners again or so. Sa time na see and necessary. Necessary say among for na nanum papanum. Esika o must save you na. Haircuts. Just to save the economy now more and I'm crashing it down. Because of your numerous corrupt acts. From the presidency to the last appointee. Mudi esika nyafunyafuna ye bufu ye time. Esa National Cathedral no. But President National Yankupon. Yankupon was coming no. Ghana for so was coming. Yesika so amount for ama. And 97 million. In a 2 month who. Some can say enche. Masha say mission ngakra. Say the meeting 2 month who. Aduma no come to MPP ba ya. Na me say David. Ako me go apply. Because MPP time nkwa na 2 month who. Utiminya $97 million edi. But Afenyo Markin says any na no bone kakra bi. Yamfanche omo. Ghana Union of Traders Association. Omo for mo bone nche omo na say NPP sa ba. Ghana mu be thereof.
We've been in government before. Governance does not mean you should just obstruct them, but be constructive and engage and prove to the people that you are on alternative government. You are ready when given the chance to make it better. So it's a reason why on the instructions of our flag bearer, we are here. So don't be worried at all. Of course, we made mistakes, but if you look at even the concerns that were raised by VIP and Mr. President on the assurances by the President that you would be giving some capital support, you realize that it was around that time, 2022, that the financial crisis hit us so bad. And the countries have had to go for a bailout. This issue about DDP, sometimes they can make a political statement, sweeping statement, and say that we mismanaged the economy. I'm not here to say that we didn't make mistakes. That would be too much on the roof. No. Obviously, in any government setup, there will be some mistakes. But largely, look at the way the economy was going, 17, 18, 19, then COVID struck. Now, nobody has asked this important question. That whole period, for almost 2 years, that businesses ceased, that trade had to stop, that government had to feed the poor, government had to pay public sector workers, government had to still put in place the institutional pillars to sustain the economy. Free SHS did not come to an end because of COVID. Student fees had to be paid. Students had to be fed in school. All the various policies that had been implemented prior to COVID had to still be implemented. So we did not lose our guards. However, the post-COVID, the challenges became obvious. At least we kept the lights on. So much as we concede on some of the challenges, that of course has reduced us to a mighty minority. We believe that having taken a cue, we can bounce back, and we are very optimistic. So it is true that some mistakes in the past, but don't give up hope on us. We will do the do for you. We will not just be talking. And let's continue the engagement, have a framework to be meeting regularly and test us. I'm sure you will not.
Now, enka udu zenka feeling neke feeling gadoti but what we I'm got no opposition come kra nya nyomo afi o manya no ho no manya nse o so manya mistake gradi mon try o muji tu so manya mistake pa e beto abasa mom what ha but GUTA President Clement Boateng I say me nya abomo de ade and the MPP who abufu nti o de NDC for kra ye ntu so
both the minority and the majority, because it is you, the politicians, that have allowed these foreigners to flood our markets and then trying as much as possible to displace the locals and then take the market completely. A critical example is what we are experiencing in the mining sector. Now, all our water bodies have been polluted by these Chinese people. And these Chinese people are being brought by you, the politicians. The Chinese people are being brought by you, the politicians. Because it is said oftentimes that both the minority and the majority are being blamed for the galamsey that is going on. Because you have your people doing the galamsey, and it is being done by these foreigners, because you are the people who bring these foreigners, these Chinese people, into the country and then be doing this galamsey and have polluted our water bodies. The same thing is happening in the retail sector now. Now they have taken over every aspect of the retail sector. Let's talk about the constructive sector, that is the mining sector. It's been taken over by foreigners. The financial sector, the banks and all those fintech areas have been taken over by the foreigners. The communication sector has been taken over by the foreigners. Now the automobile sector is also being taken over by the foreigners. And the small retail that we are doing, that even if you are illiterate, you can even do the retail trading, is also being taken over by foreigners. And excuse me, in your own wisdom that you passed this GIPC Act and reserved some areas solely for the citizens of the country, those areas are also being taken by the foreigners, and you are not doing anything about it. I am glad that the minority leader said that he's a businessman, and I think most of you here are also a business people. I'm sure one day when you retire from parliament, you will definitely come into the business sector. And you come in, when you come into the business sector, and those areas have been taken over by foreigners, where do you stand? Where do you stand? Now, because of this situation, the price of shops have risen very high level that the citizens cannot afford to pay for the price of shops, and all the shops are being taken over by foreigners. Which is a time bomb. Now, we have these Chinese people establishing malls all over the place. And what the irony of the situation is that when you go there, instead of maybe them selling in dozens, the thing that they have sold to you at 2 cedis, somebody will go there and they rather will reduce the item at 1 cedi, 50 pesos. And so the thing that you've taken from them at 2 cedis, and they are as a wholesale price, and they are retailing at 150. How then do you sell it?
Honestly, more politicians see, more na mama kwa ma sanse munu bebrebe nesi. From Galamsey, China for na dominating, and Oko Ghana, almost all over Ghana. A China mall. China mall. They take over. Also, Oma kwa to understand the say. And aboso kind foreigners na nye Nigeria for China for. Moton inferior goods. Edema Ghana for. Also China near anazi Nigeria near Southton Adiamo as a wholesale price. No. Sadi pana Southton in Yemen as a retail price. Or the more 2 Ghana. You are walking by on a shop, no, the man 150 pesos. Into when I got to as a retailer, no, who got on the 2 cities and they be, who got on the Faswaka home, you got on maybe 250 pesos and not 3 cities. Oh, baby, you know. Now, I'm on for a sound as I got on in now, what's a boca, no, as I and do business. The same politicians see, and this is what Afenyo markets who yet in ye. Nakacho political party for no. Now, any for some money and grant way be soon far. Someone to me, you're found. And protect traders. I'm going to retail business. I can say any na mama foreigners at take over. And get one so much I say take over. And I'm going to more and some more. Mumbe businessman, me boy. I was a pion. I was a move. And Yamia Maduna more retired from politics. Now more active business. Biwa. Mobile na sa space no. Foreigners are dominated. Na edruwa bo filie yaw. I'm say GUTA force so yan kan akura so ntirem. Full boss tie. Dollar. See the perform channel. Ba mo bodo nyankopon se mo ntemu niam so. Ministry of Trade Ministry of Trade eba maso he. Epa macho. Se mo man reflect. Mo ga you mate. Ya hu hwe. Finance Minister Shia mo ka tem say indicators are mo two niam mu. From inflation down to policy rate to a friend say CD stability to fuel prices. Nini na conform. Into a same monte so. What you? Seven fee. Ghana ni kofa adie 10 Ghana or per 20 cedis or per 100% profit. Mutrimu so ya den. Ano so ka ho na yedi mo business afro mu sem no. Ano ka na Ghana for prefer say obesam ho akoto sa inferior goods na mo ka no. Na mo de na mo toma ikra na papa ben. Enye the same China na mo kofa no. The China ni neba no be turn dey fala. And na me be san ne ho. Abeto de. Ye ka bia mamu no na ya ka ye tumufo. Se mutrimu odene Ghanaian traders me too wicked. E ka ho ana ye musa. For the politicians in the job life mo. Omo ye tax Ghana mo dia ahehye o. And your own business, most of them know nothing about business. They cannot run a successful business for 4 years. Ebegu. They only understand politics because that place is easy to steal. But mo businessmen, most krono na mo boy na are you fine? I'm asking, are you fine? Ghanaian trader be who say, hey, opportunity ki 12 bia but no small 50 pesos. No they do 15 Ghana. This is a man who shortage. No, not price, not triple, a quadruple. Ya kama sa mo se ne kakra ko wania. Say na mo feel heat. Mo be feel heat na chese dey feel no. At some point, your person ka ye tomo de nko a. Ba mutire modin di, ye timi nya ne sa. Solomon Owusu United Party communication director say, "Hey, Maxi Billian, I'm see ye bra." I say, "Hey, relax. So be no I'm see you, mate." Now, the MPP vote can say, anytime MPP speak, it annoys a lot of people. If the funds used for the National Cathedral were used to create job opportunities, we will not be here today.
The problem we have in this country, as a matter of fact, which saddens a lot of people's heart, is that we still have the MPP speak and their view is seen as representing the minority parties. I am a minority party. The only difference between the United Party and the MPP is that they have some representation in Parliament And we are yet to go there. So when they speak, it is as though it is representing the views of all. When, as a matter of fact, they must be the last people to dilute the situation. They should have rather allowed the United Party to make a cogent point. We are talking about a government. You see, when you speak, it annoys a lot of people. You just left power. You left power on the 7th of January 2025. We are in 2026. We have been told from between 2017 and 2024 that you had created 2.3 million jobs. You remember that situation? When they were launching their manifesto in Takrady or so, I heard the flag bearer openly, boldly, tell the entire country that the MPP administration had created 2.3 billion jobs. If you look at our data, if that position was true, I'm not sure we'll be having what we have. But you see, that is what we have been doing.
But that's the data they churned out.
It was fake. There was nothing.
You can't make those conclusions.
No, because we asked them then. It's because when we are going into election and we are asking questions, people seem not to, we are too much fixated on NDC and people. Now, people are now beginning to take what we say very serious. But they have realized that when they come and lie, United Party will shape the political discourse of this country. You can't come and sit here. You must be the last person to be talking about what do you call it? That they didn't provide job. When you have had 8 years, look at the number of corruptions. Look, the last hour I was doing a simple mathematics that between 2018 and 2024, Ghana had lost 81 billion through corruption. If we were going to divide 81 billion by the 500,000 people that applied, each one could have been given 16,226.
What do you mean by corruption? If they're supposed to be perceived corruption, people should be prosecuted.
But that is the problem of Tango and people. They are pampering them. That is why some of them are under bushes, under cocoa farms, telling us their peace of mind.
Who is at cocoa farm?
You haven't seen the minority in somewhere Afenyo.
You don't care about.
And some of them, when I listen to their argument, I wonder how they got into parliament. Hey, the people of this country always remember that the constitution says we must vote for people of sound mind. You are also the problem. You, the voters, you are part of our problem.
But genuinely, cocoa farmers, based on the people they are interacting with, say they have key concerns because of the reduction.
I saw those that were there. None of them are cocoa farmers.
No,
they are going to rent someone's cocoa farm and doing this business with it. You see, but coming back to the issues, if all the monies we expended on creating a hole, the world's largest hole, $97 million have been given to these young ones, would we be where we are? 52 billion that got missing in our tax revenue, for which reason Keroforata is no more in this country. If this money had been invested in the economy, would we be where we are? And that is why I believe that there has to be a fallow period for these people. They must go back, sit back, analyze what went wrong, why they disappointed the people of this country before they begin to make certain assumptions and allusions. This business of our brothers saying that the chief of staff issued a statement. I was on record to have said that, look, those that qualified, they must be made to remain. But those that
came out with an outcome of an audit.
Absolutely. And those that were engaged after the 7th of December, they must be sacked.
Why should they?
Because they are. You see, why if it must be done, it must be done well. I was taking the cue from Osafo Mafo's vetting. Remember Osafo Mafo's vetting in 2017? When he was asked a similar question, that Osafo Mafo is a senior member of the MPP. So his view represents the view of the MPP. The MPP then said that, why would you engage anybody after December 7th elections? So they were not going to retain it, but indeed they carried through that. So you have set a very bad precedent for this administration to follow. When you are following your own precedent, then you come, but you turn around and come back and tell us that, look, why did you do that? The long and short of it is that the economy must be expanded. If you take our budget, 90% of our budget goes into interest payment and emolument. And so, as a country, it is not in our interest to be engaging more people in the public sector. What has to happen is that you must expand the base of the economy by focusing on the private sector. How do you focus on the private sector? You try and reduce inflation. You try and reduce interest rates. You try and reduce taxes. When we were collapsing the banks, especially Ghana banks, I made a statement that, look, This has a national security implication.
Oh, at the time you were strongly.
I opposed them. I went on GH1, Dr. Dufour's TV, and I told them that this was a bogus decision. You see me, I don't follow by heart discussions. So when I know the implications of actions and inactions, you understand. Now your policy rate is at 11.74%. Is that not the case? Meaning that lending rate will be around 18 or 17%. It means loans or credit facilities will be cheaper relatively. But guess what? Go to the market and see how many banks are Ghanaian banks. There are few. And we are competing with our West African neighbors. So most often the loans...
That unemployment of Ghanaians started way before?
Absolutely. But you see, if the banks are not giving money to the private sector cannot expand to be absorbing them. You understand? And that was the main reason why we said, when the MPP was in power, that if you had an amount of 4 billion to spend, you do not have to give that money to NAPCO to be paying national graduates 700 cedis every month, when you have a beautiful policy like the one district, one factory that you could invest in, so that factories will be expanded. Going forward, this administration, having achieved their microeconomic stability, must begin to look at the real sectors. Agriculture must be a focal point.
I know the own what am I? Or the MPP for Bioman to say Afenyo Markin is being a new August. Or since I'm not gonna for Monsuno Mucha, Mebuana. Or some what is MPP for Gasana, which I say, Moira. Say, and young growth in 8 years more no Muki. And all of a sudden, that's what about for home. I don't want to be Anna no more Kanya Missams Anno. I will try why. Never Jesus one of Peter and Kanya Missam. More obedience than we are from for Dimukamanum. Bonia Modigana for some own now 2 years. We signed $7 million now. Musanya no sabe kasa. Transience and to abans amam. Ha, Mwaka, Mofantu soy soon yamino. Amza, Papa Umwa. Because sometimes it's not say I'm doing what I say. I have no markets now here and one okay. Is he the car na container ira kebusi ira. One demand cafe. Who see free power say a mistake it will be. A mistake and Ghana for energy levy 1 Ghana cedi per liter. Is that what you call a mistake? The Palugu dam $12 million. Ayera dam BNC. Is that what you call a small mistake? I say I just demonstrate na mo blame mo. And your NDC for 90 minutes mu be into no. I want a problem. And can you swear mu be a go say woman? Wait, get to it. And can long story no. In get chana man na short. Kura. Now, funny enough, a trader out on paint. Ghana Standard Authority Enforcement Team. Ego pio say I paint no bebre na fake. Etie be season no say and the manya kumyo. Munkumia mun ras to. Ana o say ada say hwe. Me meti ai mako paint school. Aho da be na mu hu say me mako paint school. Obi na eto ama me fa ne na mama mwana na mu gina wo hwe nanim. Aye nim na o si de bi wunim.
Afamenya so nti bi ma mensa so. Ada ni o ha bi amane.
O tun ton bibi e be kun obi o outside since you relax.
Your pen contains lead, which is beyond the threshold.
So I will show you the person.
That is not.
But you can't sell what is already. You can't sell what is already.
That is not the question. You will move from here to the factory, but then the shop has.
And I'm saying, Omo the panel, and there was some call. It's I'm saying, Omo the panel, miss our number. And yes, I did be
so my own tone. Yeah, I
said, the be almost the pepper. It's almost the banner mom, the awesome hold on.
Your cinema to come. We have to move a lot of people. We can't leave it.
Important, oh, the buy no, Matthew no. Imagine Yama, and I'm a Jimmy. I'm seeing Yamichiro Mammy. Yamichiro. Resist the sir. Cause one resisted. Cause some division 40 or be beat me with them. Apo Bonti, Chrono Bonti. Said the Omoye 85 million Ghana cedis transit or fraud. Now, anwan na muso esu sika no ko mbotu menko aban ho eye den na yedi inferior goods no ba emfa border custom fonte ho immigration fu a na ni pay wuram omuntimi nka hweye custom fu a near the fake product wuram omuntimi nka hweye almost every country in Europe our standard of product about media wuram yankwa ya Ghana Standard Authority for yi busa omo se die no mo ye port and harbor muti wobi mo cheke ana omo timi di wuram wie a nipa na ono ton ade o shop no mum na akopɛ na che no ana akopɛ ne ne maaji de odi wuram no odie ne san ana sika no di tu botom won say ne afa de mo fa pressure Ghana phone support mo we na a problem no you keep on letting this thing kind of this criminal things happening. Na mo ye we na mo sabe gina twam ho said ye mo na mo protect ye from what? From mo incompetence and corruption. Mo da mani wuram wie a na ma da ne mo ho sofo. Anoma kone. Ma ko TV na ko hunu nso na wie. Mo ba na afo bebusa. Mo tire so ma me mempene. Tezo o meku mempene. Na sa camera si susu de o mu ku nso enye yi. Omun konkote import and any manufacturer no Ghana need to play every go to China no we are my last grade then you cry na Ghana for the ombeto do mu hia ne ade efo ya jimi enti na waso no da bre na esu eguso ne toko how many television television sets na Ghana ha yeto a eye papa phones eye papa obehu UK iPhone US iPhone na de abre o Ghana no difference wo any difference ketwa adentia ye na nipa anya skere ni editor sansem fun we yaso so ana mami efati e de magana tedesi na mefo no so we pa de miditum the Afenyo Markin si kan say MPP for egusu nya security recruitment na emom no NDC for enya bi the same person say recruitment process a scam ndi waka che the constituency for say mo nko enti yemfa emu de he anase papa no oye trofo nti enya life man no ka che me comment section na say wawie no subscribe like na che mo nwia so enya bi enhwe I didn't know ba ko pe Maxi Billian our naked truths or Oldboga trends macro bye bye.